What is going on, my broskiis? My name is Toadskii, back again, here to bring you guys yet another One Piece Treasure Cruise video, and today we're having a pretty special video. Today we're going to be doing nominations for the One Piece Treasure Cruise Awards show in 2021. For those of you who have been sticking around on the channel since last year, we actually did do another one of these. Shout out to Anlord, who is no longer with us, so thank you very much to Anlord, who put that award ceremony together to celebrate the year of One Piece Treasure Cruise in 2020. Today, we're going to be having a look at a Google document built by Captain Pappy, who is one of the fellow co-founders of the Good Great Perfect podcast, and we are going to go ahead and have a look at this submission form, and the link of course is going to be down below in the video description. I'll leave it in the pinned comments as well, where you can go ahead and submit your nominations for certain categories relating to One Piece Treasure Cruise in 2021. So that's what we're going to go ahead and explore today, and later on it says here, towards the end of November, we're going to gather the nominees and create a new form where you can actually vote for the highest populist nominees of each category. So this is not the actual award, this is just figuring out who the nominees are. So there's going to be a future submission video that I'll also make, giving my thoughts and opinions on which nomination should be the overall winner of each individual category. So without further ado, guys, let's go ahead and jump into it. So this first question here just says, straight up, which is the best legend in the game? We have to put one nomination as to what we think is the best overall legend in 2021. Now, I don't really think it's any surprise to anybody. I do think Roger probably is the best legend in the game, but like there's a couple of good options for that. There's like Ace versus Akainu. I think also could be a very valid option. I think many people could do. The really good value of Ace versus Akainu, as many people already know, is the fact that this character is essentially two units in one. You've got a character that boosts Driven and Powerhouse, which are arguably like the best type combinations in the game, but you've also got Ace boosting Free Spirit, who's also one of the best classes in the game, and shooter characters, and shooters are definitely not as good, but in fact you have a characters, Aces versus Akainu, they can boost so many different types of units, and is going to be valuable for a long time moving forward, I feel anyway. This character is immensely powerful, and I wouldn't be surprised if this character is in the nominations, but also you can't go past Yamato, who is also another character relatively recently released, and this character is still incredibly good and is also going to be good for a very, very long time until there's another much better Free Spirit captain or a much better Psy captain, you know. Yamato, Ace vs Akainu, and Roger I think are all valid choices. I am going to put Roger though because I still personally believe Roger's the best, but there's a lot of good options for this one. But then we can have a look at the worst legend selection. Now, the worst legend selection is interesting. It says it goes from characters from December 1st till 2020. So that is the start date of this, which is why Roger is still one of the characters that you're able to select, which makes sense. But in terms of the nominations of the worst legends released from December 1st, 2020, unfortunately, I've got to put your boy Bartholomew Kuma. He's just not what we're hoping for. Easily the worst legend released in this year. Though I feel like V3 Blackbeard, if I could spell it correctly, V3 Blackbeard I think also could be one of those characters as well. Personally, I'm going to put Kuma just because it's the one I'm most disappointed in, because I was really hoping for big things for this character. Unfortunately, he never got the character that he really deserved, so that's a really big missed opportunity, I feel. And now we can have a look at the best super evolutions. I might actually have to have a look at the database for this one. This one is a little bit difficult to figure out which is the overall best super evolution of the year. So over on the database, we're filtered by 6+ characters. We have Pudding here, which is not very good, but I think Yamato's here. I mean, like, Yamato being a 6+ unit just inherently wins that category, I feel. She's the best character that's a 6+ unit. I feel like that's just easy win. Sabo though, it depends, right? If we're going by overall upgrade of the character, Sabo I think is a relatively good choice. Germa is a good choice. Cracker is okay. Onami is okay. But I think the cutoff line is around here somewhere with like Blackbeard and Capone. So overall, I think like Germa, I think Carrot's okay, I think Germa, Sabo, and Yamato are easily the best three. So I think right now, I think I'm going to put Yamato just because it's the best character that's a 6+, makes sense to me. Let's have a look what the next one is. The worst super evolution. Well, look, there's a couple of pretty bad super evolutions. I think we already had to look at Pudding. I think that's the choice that most people are going to put just because it's the most recent one, or one of the most recent ones, and the fact that it's just stuck in everyone's mind about how little of an impact that character actually made in terms of super evolving from 6-star to 6-star+. But you also got to remember there was also a character like Dex Mihawk, for example, V2 Mihawk. I think that was a terrible super evolution because they never fixed the flaws of the character. Whereas like with Sanji V2, who was a very similar unit to V2 Mihawk, who's also a chain boosting captain, they actually fixed some of the problems with the unit. The unit had so many stupid effects and they just got rid of them, and they made the character actually way more usable. Whereas V2 Mihawk, they didn't really fix the issues that the character kind of has still. The character is not very good in my opinion. I think a lot of people are going to choose Pudding because it's the most recent one, but I'm actually going to put V2 Mihawk. I think that was probably one of the worst super evolutions that we saw this year, but there were lots of bad ones. I mean, I think Blackbeard was a terrible super evolution. I just don't think that character got as buffed as what I would have liked, but you know, there's a lot of bad super evolutions. Nominations for the best rare recruit, oh my god, there's like so many good rare recruits that released this year, and it also says normal rare recruit, limited rare recruit, Pirate Festival rare recruit. Oh my god, there's like so many good units. I'm just gonna focus on normal rare recruit, I think, because I mean, like, there's so many good units, like Kizuna rare recruit, for example, but I mean, look, there's a couple of good ones. I think the ones that come to mind immediately are Quick Rare Recruit Killer from the Super Type Luffy, Law, and Kid Batch. That killer is insane. One of the only units in the game that does like special reverse and special cooldown for all characters by 2 turns. Very valuable. And he's also like, I think it's paralysis and despair removal, and he makes all colored orbs matching. Like, just an insanely good rare recruit. But then also in that same batch, right, you've got Zoro, who removes special bind, attack down, orb booster. I think he's an orb blocker as well, so he's also pretty good. But then you've got Rockstar, which released with Whitebeard vs Shanks, being able to remove a bunch of debuffs. Block orb remover, he's really good. And then like, I don't know too much of the Japan batches, the ones that currently Global doesn't have, but I do remember Black Maria was very good. I think she was like special bind remover, and she's also color affinity, and I think she removed some defensive effects of some kind. So Black Maria was actually very good. But I think at the moment, I'm gonna say Psy Rockstar at the moment. Actually, you know what? Nah, I'm going Quick Killer. I don't know if a lot of people are going to pick that, but I think Quick Killer probably is my favorite rare recruit that's released this year. Now, look, there's lots of good limited rare recruits, Rumble, and treasure map units that have released, but as I said, I just wanted to go regular, normal rare recruit, and we'll see what the nominations overall say, because I'm sure you guys out there might do more research, you know, and I really want to see what the actual nominations are going to be for this. I think Quick Killer is probably the best one for me. Nominations for the best free-to-play unit in the game, dude. Okay, now this is pretty difficult because there are obviously a lot of free-to-play units that release in an entire year of release, right? But I remember recently on Japan, they recently had the Kizuna Super Boss Olin. That unit is insane. But also, we got to think back to Global Super Boss with the Kuja Pirates. Kuja Pirates being able to remove like those defensive effects, attack booster, guaranteed conditional booster, a pretty usable free-to-play captain. I think Kuja Pirates could also easily win that for sure. The treasure map Onigashima Luffy that releases like around Yamato's time, Global should be releasing it soon. That Luffy character is incredible as well. He has great utility. He has I think he's like a rainbow attack booster as well. He's a Luffy character, so he gets good support, of course. I can't really think of too many amazing free-to-play characters off the top of my head. I mean, Kizuna Katakuri is another character I've used a lot that's free-to-play. I've used him on a lot of different Kizunas, actually. He's actually a pretty good unit. I mean, even Arena Frenosuke, I've used him a lot over the past month. He's an incredible unit. I mean, upon activation, he gives you utility, but also he's a guaranteed conditional booster if you hit, you know, those 2 perfects prior to. So he's also an interesting unit as well. But I think at the moment, I think the Quick Kuja Pirates are going to be the ones that I'm going to select here. So the next one is the nominations for the best artwork that is released. And it says it can be anything. It doesn't have to be a legend. It can be a rare recruit. It can be a free-to-play unit. It doesn't matter, right? It can be any artwork in the game. I'm going to stick to legends, though, because legends typically have like the higher budget, and what I mean by that is they typically have more effort put into them to create the really cool artworks. Now, if we're looking at the legend artworks here, I think that the brand new Katakuri might be one of my favorites that is released in this year. Now, of course, I'm a little biased because I love my man Katakuri, Mr. Slam Jam, and you know, Luffy versus Katakuri is one of the biggest hype characters that I wanted to see. Unfortunately, because of this character, I don't think we're going to be seeing that, and if we are, it's going to be a really long time from now. But this is probably one of my favorites in the game for sure. And high key, I think this is also a very underrated artwork. If you guys have seen the ink effect for King, it's actually incredible. It might be one of my favorite artworks in Treasure Cruise history. It looks so good, and they did so good with his ink effect. They animated it perfectly. definitely one of my favorites this year as well. And then also, you can't go past this guy. I think Super Type Kaido also has a very, very underrated artwork. Also has a fantastic ink effect, having Luffy in the background getting absolutely baby shaked. I think Kaido is super, super good. But then again, look, you can't go past my man Goldie Roger. Such an amazing artwork. They did a really good job with that. And also Kozuki Oden. I think the face with Kozuki Oden is a little wonky. I do actually prefer his unevolved artwork a lot better. I feel like he looks so much better in this artwork. But I mean, there's so many good ones though. I really don't know which one's my favorite. I think I might have to go with my gut feeling here. And my gut feeling is going to be the quick V4 Katakuri. That one is just too good. I love the Luffy versus Katakuri stuff. Now the next one is nominations for the best ink effect. I think this is an easy decision. Gecko Moria. Legend Gecko Moria has easily the best ink effect in the game. It's fantastic. It has the best ink effect. The bats animated, like, nothing beats that. As I said, I do love King's artwork, but with ink effect on top of it, I think Gecko Moria probably has the best artwork with ink effect on top of it. In terms of overall unit though, I mean, Moria is super, super good still. I think with ink effect, Moria probably is the best for sure. Now, this is a bit of a weird one. We have nomination for the most improved legend. This award for legends are released from December 1st, 2020 until now. A unit that may not have seen a lot of use or play in the past, but as time has gone on, the unit has become more valuable or better in gameplay. Now, man, if this didn't include December 1st, 2020, I think a character that I've used a lot this year that I didn't really use a lot on release was Mihawk and Perona. That unit, man, I've used that character so much this year. I mean, a guaranteed conditional boost is never going to be a bad thing. Plus, you can have the V1 Zora support for the chain lock as well on top of it. Such a good ability. But if we're talking about legends that have released just this year, it makes it a bit more difficult. Now, for this one, I think I'm going to say Germa 66. I think Germa 66 probably is the best or the most improved legend. Now, this one did release in February of this year for global, so it does technically count still. If we're going by Japan releases, it doesn't, of course. But Germa 66, the fact that when they first released, yeah, they were a cool unit, they didn't see a lot of play. But with their Super Evolution, I think they're going to see a lot more play moving forward. I know I'm going to try and use them a lot more. The unit is very, very fun to use, so I think Germa is going to be my choice. Oh boy, now we get to some real juicy questions. What do we think is the most overrated legend that released from December 1st, 2020 until now? That's actually tough. The thing is, I think the community generally will rate characters fairly. Like, obviously, some people are going to have characters that are probably not that great, that they really, really like, and they rate them really highly, and that's completely fine. But I think overall, generally speaking, I don't think there's like a character that a large majority of people think is really good that is overly bad or relatively overrated. But I think one that kind of stands out to me, because I see a lot of people say, oh, they're waiting for this specific character to come out, they can't wait to pull for them, but I actually don't think is actually that good. I think it's honestly Vinsmoke Reiju. I don't think Legend Reiju is like that amazing. I think she's just fine, but I see a lot of people are really hyped for this unit. Like, personally, I would rather have the Vivi. I think the Summer Vivi is a much better unit comparatively to Vinsmoke Reiju, and I know that Reiju has some really interesting mechanics, but generally speaking, I think that Reiju is relatively overrated. But then we go to most underrated legend. Oh, dude, this is easy, because, like, still to this day, people complain on my tier list about it. Gecko Moria is probably the most underrated legend in the game. That unit is, like, literally, like, top 5. Like, pretty much on the cusp of top 5, in my opinion. This unit is nuts, and I don't think a lot of people are giving this guy credit. This dude's insane. I mean, he boosts Driven and Powerhouse. That's already a huge positive. He gets full board of matching slots. He has an amazing super type special. Now, yeah, Moria doesn't have the best support. He's got a couple that he can get usage of, but he can hybrid well with a lot of good characters. All booster turn 1, color affinity turn 2, full board of matching slots. This unit's crazy. I think easily Gecko Moria is the most underrated legend that released this year. Nomination for the best banner, man. Unfortunately, there haven't really been like a lot of banners that have released this year that have really wowed me. I think there's probably only one banner that I can remember that was like actually shocking in terms of how good it was. And this is the banner that I was thinking of. This is the pre-anniversary Countdown Sugo Fest that released on Global, where it was essentially just a rerun of the New Year's Sugo Fest, where they only had 10 available legends, Roger and Odin being one of the 10, or one of the 10, 2 of the 10 basically between the two, and it was a 10% red rate. So Roger and Odin were 2% combined rate to pull on this banner. If you pulled a red, it was a 20% chance to be Roger or Odin. That is actually incredible for how good those units were. A little bit of information as well is that this banner debuted like you know, 45 days after the initial run of Roger and Odin. So for those people that didn't pull them on their debut, this banner was perfect for those people. Now, yes, Roger and Odin did also run on the Anniversary Sugo Fest as well, but this banner, if you just wanted those really high tier units, and considering the timing of this banner, dude, this was probably one of the best banners I remember all year. So I'm going to say Global's 6th Annie Bait Sugo. That's what I'm gonna say. Favorite game mode, this is actually kind of an interesting one. I think overall, I'm gonna say Alliance Kizuna. Now, I don't know if that counts for regular Kizuna, because remember, we had both regular Kizuna and Alliance Kizuna come out this year. I think Alliance Kizuna is going to be my choice, actually. And then we have the nomination for the best new update feature. Now, I think a lot of people are probably going to go straight to 11.2. Now, this one specifically says, like, the next, like, the update feature, not talking about just 11.2 in general. They're saying, like, literally, like, a very specific feature. What's one thing that released in any update this year that you really liked? Now, I think a lot of people are going to go with 11.2, whether it be cotton candy stacking, which was actually a little bit earlier with like 10.2, whatever the hell it was, or even like the dual unit thing with 11.2, where you could choose what dual unit you wanted to be active. The power-up stuff is all really good. I am going to go with Pirate Alliance. I think Pirate Alliance is the best new feature that they have released in 2021. I really do love Pirate Alliance working with other people, working towards that main goal of reaching those top ranks. I really love it, and that's why it's my best feature, in my opinion. Nomination for the best moment of the year. I don't really think there have been too many moments that have really, you know, packed a punch like previous years. You know, like, you know, when we had characters such as, you know, the Shanks crew release, where we had that amazing French Anniversary Sugo Fest. I think a lot of people would say that that's probably one of the best Sugo Fest ever to release in One Piece Treasure Cruise history. So this year has been a little bit of a lull period compared to previous years, but I think the moment that stands out in my head as being like the highlight of the year probably was the release of Yamato. That was so big for the community, because this is a character that a lot of people wanted since their release in the manga, and seeing the way that they did it as well. I know some people, you know, will still have opinions relating to releasing the character as a 6-star unit and evolving into a 6+ a couple of weeks later. I understand the problems with that, but I think the overall hype that they built around this event is probably my favorite moment of the year. And then the final question here is nominations for the most anticipated character or feature in 2021. I think a lot of people's answers for this one is going to be, oh my god, you're going to get Whitebeard versus Roger, man, is the most craziest clash in One Piece history, bro. I understand that's going to be a lot of people's answers to this one. I'm not going to go down that route. I want to be a little bit different. Now, there are a lot of characters that I wanted to release in 2021 that they actually did. They did Legend Kuma, RIP. They did CP0 Lucci, which was another legend that I really wanted to see, and he is very good, by the way. I'm really happy the way that they dealt with that unit. But there is still another unit that I really want to see in the game that they haven't touched yet. They've done a lot of really important V2s, or just new versions of characters that I really wanted to see in the game. You know, we even got a V2 Kizaru, which was great. But there is another V2 in the game that still isn't here. Now, as of this video going out, I mean, hopefully we don't get a data download and this character is going to be in it at some point. I mean, if they're going to release this particular unit, it's probably going to be this month, but I really want to see a V2 Crocodile. It is crazy to think that throughout all of these years of Treasure Cruise, we only have one Legend Crocodile. I think that's absolutely abysmal. Crocodile needs some respect, and I think that he deserves a new version of a character in 2022. Maybe with Super Class, they could do something really interesting. But that's really what I want to see. And there you have it. We've gone ahead and submitted that. So make sure to go ahead and get your results in. Get your nominations in for each individual category that we've talked about in this video today. That is going to wrap this one up though. So I really hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And if you guys did enjoy the video, make sure to go ahead and leave a like. And if you want to stay up to date with all of the content that I post, including more One Piece Treasure Cruise content, make sure to hit the subscribe button down below. But on that, guys, I'll see you guys within the next video.